Luckily, we had met previously because I don't think that's a film you want to meet on for the first time. But we met during the Lord of the Rings production, well, end of production actually. You probably don't remember it, but the rap party.
Oh my God!
I met Elijah,
right?
Who might have been slightly tipsy.
Probably it was.
Probably
it was our.
It was a big
first rap party of many, actually.
Yeah. So so going back then, and then we used to run into each other in Austin.
That was also what drew us together, I think, to produce Greasy Strangler. We like a lot of the same films. We're the kind of maniacs that would make a movie like that. So yeah, a lot of shared sensibilities, love of cinema. And then, this thing came about, you can speak to this better than I can. It came about with your own personal experience and ultimately working with Toby as a writer, but Ant sent me the script. And because of that, prior relationship and the fact that he was going to be directing for the first time and the script was so extraordinary, that's sort of what drew me into it.
Yeah, so the script was done by the co-writer of Greasy Strangler, Toby Harvard, and I'd gone through this weird thing with my dad who died, and I ended up spending 5 days in the house with his corpse. And from that experience, I thought it was very cathartic, and it was very emotional and spiritual and everything, but also just fucked up and weird. And so after a little while of processing the death and everything, I felt like a huge shove towards making something more permanent and thought, I want to make a film for my dad that we could end up the type of film we'd watch as kids. Well, I watched it as a kid with him. So I approached the writer and said, hey, I've got this idea. What do you think about collaborating on a film? And that's how it took off.
Yeah, the movie is about this guy Norval Greenwood, who is a musician, DJ, kind of slash fashionista, cool kid, hipster, who's been estranged from his father for 30 years. Gets a letter in the mail from his dad saying, come see me, in this sort of far-flung kind of Pacific Northwest, potentially, place, this sort of cabin on the ocean. And so he makes this long journey to get to see his father for the first time. He does not know his father, and it's really this experience of meeting this person whom he has no connection to and feeling him out, and it sort of starts as a family reunion story and sort of devolves into something different.
A lot stranger.
Yeah. Things get weird relatively quickly.
It gets weird. I mean, it chicanes all the way through. I mean, one of the, as a reader of the script, it was like, what I wanted to make a film is that you just don't know where it's going to go. And so it's like a real hybrid film in terms of genre, just cross-jumps genres throughout the whole thing, which I think is really exciting because audiences are so savvy now with the beats and genre films that you really want to try and subvert them as much as possible, and put as much dark humor in there because it all came about the death of my dad, so I didn't want it to be depressing or maudlin, and so I used to laugh a lot with my dad, so it's full of a great black humor. Yeah. We should say it's funny because it sounds like funny. It sounds like it was body. Yeah.
No, it's very funny, and the script and the film. What was so enticing about the script is that it does almost change every 15 minutes. Everywhere you think it's going to go, it subverts your expectations, and it goes somewhere else. And that's the movie that we made, and I think that's what's sort of exciting about it, is it starts as something and it ends up as something else, but there's a really beautiful kind of emotional through line to the film as well.
I've seen it in films where you've got moments of violence mixed in with comedic aspects and everything, and if you get that tonal balance wrong, it can really affect the rest of the film and how people will feel about characters and things. So it was really making sure we rode that right on the line, just a balancing act throughout the whole thing. And I feel very confident that it's worked out well.